Right. Well, Joy, because he's a liar. And he's a liar just like his boss. And look, I never believed in the myth of John Kelly, the organizer. It's always a dangerous sign in a democracy when we're saying the generals will save us. These men are soldiers. They're just soldiers with more epaulets on their shoulders. So he was going to do what Donald Trump wanted. Remember, this is the same John Kelly that supported the Muslim ban. This is the same John Kelly that's perfectly fine with people like Stephen Miller and white nationalists in the White House. I mean, he didn't like Bannon because Bannon was as power hungry as he is. So I don't see any of this as an example of bad staffing. I see it as being a clear revelation that he was always the kind of man who was going to support Trump in his bad behavior.
Yeah,
why is it every single woman knows someone who can say Me Too, and men act like this is new and shocking to them? Because men observe this behavior and don't do anything about it. Because men observe this behavior and laugh along with it. Because men observe this behavior and then talk to the woman later on and say, gosh, I really thought that was bad. Well, you didn't say anything during the staff meeting, so what difference does it make?
Yeah.
And so really this is, the behavior of Weinstein, the behavior of Bill Clinton, the behavior of Donald Trump, the behavior of Bill Cosby, the behavior of men, everything from the President of the United States down to the night manager who sexually harasses a 14-year-old girl at McDonald's. There are men at every single step of these levels of harassment that don't say anything. And then they want to get on Twitter and then they want to get on social media and say how bad they feel. So really, I think there's a responsibility of men not to go out and protect women, but to hold other men accountable.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't take a ton of people to engage in this behavior, but it does take a ton of people to let the few who do get away with it.
Yeah.
The president's main job is to rally Congress around whatever his agenda is. The problem that many members of Congress have been facing is the president seems so easily distracted, and he also has a tendency to attack the very same people that he's working with. So when he makes this call, it's not just, look, we've got to deliver this new budget. We've got to start pushing through tax reform because that's what we promised our constituents. He's got to make a pledge that he'll have their back, that he won't attack them, that he won't threaten to send someone after them in a primary. Because to be perfectly honest with you, if the Republicans can't get this done now, if they can't get something accomplished in this session, they're not going to do anything next year. That's an election year. And the president needs to be made aware of that. Otherwise, this phone call is going to be a waste of time. This speaks to the larger problem we have in this country in how we treat our soldiers. They're not toys. They're not action figures. This isn't G.I. Joe versus Cobra. They're not just political pawns to be used to attack people and their patriotism.